Hi, I'm Ray.
And I'm Saren.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. Enjoy the show!
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing news. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is.
Hello, I'm Kristen.
And we got a lot of new and old stuff this week. We got
a busy week.
Oh yeah. We got a new Nightwing issue. We got a big Dick Grayson story in World's Finest, and something may be brewing on the vampire front. So.
Oh, okay. Well, tell us about the vampire first, because I didn't read that one. So.
Okay. Well, before we even get to that, I'm just going to recommend it real quick because Dick's not even in it, but they're doing these one-shots, Batman One Bad Day, and it's like each one focuses on a different rogue. The first one came out today. It's the Riddler, so seeing as how he's one of your favorites, you might want to read it. I mean, they're making him like dangerous, like, you know, he's like killing people, but it's like they tweak the origin, so it's like they're like, yeah, he cheated. You know, back when he was a kid, he cheated, but it was like because he had a very stern father, the headmaster of the school he was going to, and his father was like, you know, like physically abusive and stuff. And
oh, now this sounds really sad.
But they're like, you know, he was like the smart, you know, he was like a child genius. You know, he was like in the school, you know, he was pushed ahead, you know. He was younger than every other kid, and he was like one of the smartest kids in the school. But, you know, he couldn't solve those damn riddles that one teacher was giving him. So the father was very cross with him.
Man. So is Batman really in it at all, or is it mostly...
Yeah. Because, I mean, they do the flashbacks, but yeah, Batman is in it. Again, I mean, I read most of it. You know, I had to stop to do this podcast. But yes, there's a last couple pages I didn't read yet. But, I mean, it's pretty decent. It's written by Tom King.
I mean, they're like bigger books, right?
Yeah, this is like a 48-page one, yeah. So, yeah, but I know it's interesting. I thought I'd recommend it since, you like the Riddler.
Yeah. That's the first one that's come out?
Yeah. I think they're doing like one a month. You know,
yeah, I've seen in the list that they have a lot of them.
But yeah, that's the first one. Cool. And the art's really good, but No, DC vs. Vampires All Out War. Dick is not in the main story, but they're doing a backup. This was the first. Weird that this is issue number 2, but this is the first one with the backup. King Nightwing Origin.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
So what's the origin?
Well, he hasn't been bit yet, but no, it's kind of weird because it could be taking place in current continuity because it starts with him, he's asleep in bed in the middle of the night, laying there with Haley and Melinda.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
But Alfred's alive. Is Alfred a vampire?
No. But no, Melinda calls him, and I guess she's having some kind of meeting. I don't know if she's like trying to work with some of the vampires. I guess in this universe, it's like most of the time the vampires were like living side by side with, I don't know, but so she asked him to come along with her, and Melinda's supposed to meet with, I don't know if it's like a queen of the vampires or something, but, they show up and it's like a different person, and,
so they get...
But he hasn't been bit. Well, he hasn't been bitten yet, but, the vampires are like, oh yeah, what we need is, the other, the vampire queen dead, so. So not yet, but I'll let you know, because, Yeah, this is like I said, this is a 6-issue series. Number 2 just came out. That was the first part. So I don't know if it's going to be a 5-parter, if the backup's going to last the whole time, but...
This is super confusing to me that it's DC versus vampires, which is 12 parts, but only 6 of them have come out yet, right?
No, what is it? I think they're up to 7 or 8, but no, this is like a side one. This is DC.
Now there's all these tie-ins. Like, why can't you just do this all in the one thing?
I know. Yeah, because they had a Damian one shot, they had a Harley one shot. Yeah, now they're doing this all-out war that's like 6 issues. Yeah. Although Alfred was in the main story.
No, I know he was with Damian, right?
Yeah,
because
Damian wasn't in this story, but yeah, Alfred was at wherever Talia's at. So yeah, I guess he's there to help keep an eye on Damian, who is a vampire, but he's fighting against the other vampires.
Oh, Damian is a vampire?
Yeah.
Did Dick bite him, or did somebody else?
I can't remember. Either Dick did or he had one of his people do it. But yeah, because some of the other, Deathstroke and some of the other people were fighting vampire Wonder Woman in this issue. So,
but Barbara is not a vampire.
No. Yeah, remember in the main series, she's like, she's planning on killing Dick,
right?
Even though she's having dreams.
But I was just wondering if they're trying to make it like Damian's a vampire, but he's fighting it. If that's going to be like, it takes a vampire to bring down a vampire or something.
Maybe. Although, like they said, Lazarus Pit. It seems like Lazarus Pit water might cure people because they, Azrael fell into Lazarus Pit and got cured. So I don't know if they're going to try to cure Dick or because Deathstroke was trying to throw Batman in a pit but failed because they got attacked. All right, let's talk about the 2 issues you read.
Okay, which one do you want to do first?
I don't know. Pick one. Tell me what you want.
All right, let's do Nightwing, and then we'll be Robin stuff since everything else is Robin.
Okay. Nightwing 95, yeah.
Well, this was fun. On the Facebook, Tom Taylor had a post that was like, Nightwing 95 came out. What did you think? And people were commenting and liking it. So I liked it. And then I commented that I thought it was great. And then I was especially gratified to see the heroes working together because I like it when they do that instead of pretending that they all don't live in the same universe. And I said, but you're killing us with that cliffhanger ending. And Tom Taylor liked my comment.
Oh, nice.
So I feel seen.
Now we just need him on the podcast.
That'll probably be hard to do since he.
I talked to people in Australia. We would probably have to do it on either like a Friday or Saturday night or like a weekend morning or something.
I would have it any time to talk to someone in Australia.
Yeah, I don't just like Nightwing. I like kangaroos too.
That's right. They're a winning combination.
But yeah, no, I do like. This was a good issue. Yeah, Dick shows up to free Melinda. And then
wait, who are these guys again? Executioner? Is that the guy's name, Executioner, that's wearing the sack?
No, the guy with the shock is Electrocutioner. Is that Brutal? I think maybe.
Brutal. Okay.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think.
I remembered Electrocutioner, but then I was like, wait, who's this guy who kind of looks like a budget scarecrow?
Maybe. I don't know because I don't think it looked like a sack on his head before, but that's what I think it looks like because he had all the knives before.
It super looks like a sack right now, though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's like he just put a potato sack on his head.
Well, either way, Dick kicked him in the head.
Yup.
But yeah, he frees Melinda, and then Blockbuster's waiting for them outside.
And Blockbuster, you think you can go through me? Nothing can. Boom! Then he gets hit by a car.
Yep, driven by Melinda's bodyguard.
So good.
But yeah, Blockbuster's like, she knows too much.
Yeah, that does not bode well. This I actually did not see coming, I guess because, I don't know, I'm an innocent person. But I thought it was good, where McLean's all like, oh yeah, when I get this file, I can, give you all this info. And that dude's like, that's not what Blockbuster wanted to hear. And then he just straight up murders him.
I know.
I'm like, dude, wow.
I would assume there's no cameras running at the time.
Clearly not, because Maggie comes in 5 minutes later and says, who was in there with him? And look how they're all so corrupt. They don't even say anything.
Yep.
I mean, so that really was a good... I don't know why I was surprised. I guess because it's really bold to murder somebody in the police station.
Well, that's how...
that is a really good way of showing...
how corrupt it is.
Wow, Bloodhaven cops are super corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, Maggie's all upset. But, yeah, then Melinda wants to talk to her and, tells her, we have a chance tonight. Take them all down. Like 4 things are going down. We could stop it all. And then they go up to the roof, and there's Nightwing and Batwoman, because Batwoman and Maggie have history, as we know, if you were on social media this week.
Yeah. Well, you sent me that. What were people saying?
Well, you know how... Well, yeah, but you know how Kate was, Kate's like, oh, we were going to be married, and Dick's like, well, why didn't you? And, she said, what did she say? Because of, what was that, like... What were the exact words she said, like stubbornness or ignorance or whatever?
Fear was one of them, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here. A mixture of stubbornness, stupidity, and fear.
Well, I know a lot of people were like, oh, is that like meta commentary, them talking about, the people who were running things 10 years ago? To Dido. Who, they wouldn't let them have a lesbian wedding in a comic book,
Yeah, that is just stupidity and fear right there.
Yeah. You'll have a lesbian main character, but you won't let her get married. Okay.
At the time, they probably tried to do it by something like, oh, none of the bads can be happy or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I shouldn't say it's a gay thing because it's like, it seems like they won't let straight characters get married anymore either in a comic. So it's like...
Yeah, but but 10 years ago... It definitely had something to do with being a lesbian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
DC, they still are not perfect, but they have made strides in 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
10 years ago, they never would have let one of the Robins be bisexual.
Oh, or Superman's son.
Exactly. But yeah, I thought that was funny that, like, obviously Dick does not know, so he's like, I don't know what this is, but... He was definitely not expecting that tension.
But yeah, because Maggie's like, I know why Batwoman's here, so I'll trust you guys. She's like, but I made that mistake of trusting.
And he's like, what?
So we might have to fill in those gaps, because I'm trying to remember, because after the proposal, when they told them, no, they can't do this, like, I think they pretty quickly, like, I don't know if the creative team left or something, they, like, quickly switched to a new arc, and, like, never, I don't think they even addressed, like, they might have thrown out one line about...
Left. Well, that's why they left. Was because
but it like really wasn't addressed. They might have been like, I forget if there's even one line of Maggie leaving or something. But yeah, pretty much they just ignored it and moved on with something else. So they're probably under orders too. But
all right. So then when we say we're all in, there was one person that I'm not sure of. Is that Harper on the far left side? Black hair?
No, I think that's Huntress.
Why isn't she black then?
Again, comics, man. They can't keep that. We've had this discussion. They can't keep that straight anymore.
Oh, we're at a different Helena Bertinelli.
Yeah, because like in the last year or so, they've had her in a Detective Comics arc or two, and she was kind of like, she kind of looked. She wasn't completely white, but you could tell she wasn't like fully. Yeah, DC. Yeah, I mean,
okay, all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
because I was like, who is that person?
Yeah, that's Helena.
Also, I'm surprised Stephanie doesn't have her mask on.
Well, I guess everyone there knows who she is. Maybe.
I guess. I mean, yeah. Maybe it's not like a video chat. Maybe it's. Oh wait, Oracle's there. Wait, where is she?
Well, yeah. I think it's a thing where it's like, because Dick says to Maggie and the cops like, "Are you in?" And then I think they flash forward a little bit, and he must have said the same thing that the others, and they're, Tim's like, "Yeah, we're all in."
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah, because I think it seems like they're in a different location and everything, unless Oracle's.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, wait, what? How is this? What's happening? Okay.
Yeah, see, back in the day in a comic, we would have had, many hours later, caption box that would have said many hours later. But yeah, so there's a shipment of arms coming in. Blockbuster also has a cargo plane of trafficking people. A few tons of a very poorly made, very harmful substance being trucked in, and Boss Maroney himself will be at the rare jewels buy.
A lot of bad stuff.
Yep. So we have 4 things. So they're like, you know what? We can't take the risk of, them getting alerted to any of this. So we have to hit all 4 at once. That's why they call it in the Titans and the Bat family.
Yeah, plus it's cooler that way.
Yep.
So yeah, the bats are busting up the docks, right?
Yeah.
The arms at the docks, yep.
The Titans.
And then the Titans take the air.
And
Flash.
Yeah, Wally taking the truck. Just runs up to the guy's window. He's like, "Hey, mind one pull over? I'm going to take your tires off."
And then Nightwing and the Batgirls and Batwoman bust up Boss Maroney.
That's right.
And the electrocutioner is like, what the hell's happening? And Blockbuster's like, it's the mayor and the commissioner and Nightwing. And then, what a jerk face. He goes to Haven and basically blows it up.
I know, at least he didn't hit that Alfred statue, though. Yeah, with a rocket launcher, because it's like, because Oracle calls them, they're like, oh, hey, we stopped all this, and Oracle's like, Haven's been hit, and the whole thing's on fire, so Dick's like, we got to evacuate these buildings around here.
But can we just appreciate when he's like, what's up with you guys? I thought you were close. She's like, I was supposed to marry her. Can we just appreciate Dick's face when he says, why didn't you? I love that expression. He's like,
So Haven's on fire. Dick hears someone calling for help from the library, but he finds Blockbuster holding 2 kids. He tells him, he's like, drop your sticks or I'll crush them. And Dick's like, he'll do it too, so.
And then he steps on his back. I was like, oh snap, are we going to get a Nightfall?
Oh, no.
A Nightwing fall? But then, no, he hits him so hard. Oh, his mask pops off.
Yep, and he's like, Dick Grayson.
Blockbuster's like, Dick Grayson? And that's where it ends. Oh.
And remember the last time he found out Dick's secret,
No, I feel like they're not going to, it's really good. The only thing keeping me from enjoying it, giving me trepidation is that, we know, like, and I was reading something, and I think, some of that stuff is maybe not as, looking back, you can see that, like, Devin was going somewhere with it, but it kept getting interrupted by a lot of crossovers and stuff. And then because Dido, or however you say it, wanted to have Dick die, he was like, make him renegade or whatever. So it was like that stuff happened and it just was never dealt with. And like, it was really bad stuff and it was never dealt with. And so that makes it like really sad to look back on. So I just hope that they don't do that again. But I feel like they will not, because clearly they must know that it was not super well received by fans. I also think, that's really not in keeping with the vibe Tom Taylor has.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we know at least Dick's not gonna kill Blockbuster.
Right. Well, yeah, and we don't have a creepy tarantula scheming on him, like we did.
But we have a sister.
Right, but she's a nice sister. So yeah, it's like I don't think that will happen, and this is a great chance. This is a good chance to rewrite what happens with Dick and Blockbuster. It's just, you get a little bit nervous because it was such a disaster for him personally, and like he's a real person, when it happened before. Yeah,
and again, I wonder if he's not even going to come straight at Dick if he's like, I'm going to go after your sister, or, everyone else he knows is basically superheroes, but he's like, I can go after your sister, and...
Yeah, that's what we'll see. That's kind of what, he did before. But yeah, but the other nice thing that this should be better is, of course, obviously he's involved with all of the other people, so he's not... Because that was the other thing that made it so sad the last time this Blockbuster stuff happened, was he was very isolated.
Yeah.
Like, trying to help Catalina, but she was just creepy.
I wonder if we're going to get whatever happens, if we're going to see that in number 100, because, yes, this was 95, so... If I did my math, if I did my counting on my fingers correctly, yes, issue 100 should be January. So,
Even if we're going to see it, I'm sure. I don't think they're going to cancel the book before.
No. I'm just saying. I wonder if that's going to be like, if that's going to be the conclusion of wrap up the blockbuster stuff. Because it'll probably be like an extra sized issue. 100s are usually bigger.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Take down Blockbuster.
Yeah,
take down Blockbuster. Maybe propose to a redhead.
Yeah, the only thing that I had read I didn't read it. I had the wrong solicit in my mind. So I was the one with like, Dick asked Barbara a question. So the whole time I'm like, he's barely even talking to Barbara in this. And then he didn't. I was like, what's happening? So I do feel like a little bit the past two, I mean, they've been like kind of generic enough that it's okay. But the past two haven't totally lined up with the solicit. Because I thought Heartless was going to be in this one more. And he wasn't in this one at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if they said maybe next issue was like, they're gonna, I don't know if it's the conclusion of the Heartless stuff or they were gonna.
Well, I don't know. Next issue says he like asks something, but yeah, I mean it says Heartless has an extra large jar, but he doesn't collect any type of heart. He waits for someone to experience a specific emotion. Does Nightwing have what it takes to save the life of the very man who's trying to take away everything from Dick Grayson, including his life? So I was expecting more Heartless. So I don't know. Maybe that'll come up in other issues.
Oh, I was looking. Yeah, I was looking at the solicit for next month's 96. That must be the cover, looks like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I do like that cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one where he says he asked Barbara a question, and then she's going to answer him. So it's probably going to be at the end of the issue, because it says then she's going to answer him in 97.
Ooh, maybe.
So I don't know. So, I mean, it's fine. It was a good issue. It just was, I was expecting some things, and then they didn't happen. Which again is fine because you got to go where the story takes you, and sometimes it's good if the solicit thinks this, and then it's like, haha, just kidding.
Oh, that cover for 97 is pretty sweet too.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, very good stuff. Yeah, once again, good story. Tom Taylor, the art's really good. Is that Bruno Redondo? Very good, very good. Pencils, colors, everything looks great.
Aces.
The only thing bad about these issues is that they end too quickly.
So true.
That's a cliffhanger.
Yeah. A very serious, intense cliffhanger.
All right, so I hadn't even looked at the solicits for World's Finest number 6, but the minute I saw that cover, I was like, oh, I see what caught her attention. I mean, I knew you were going to check it out because, Dick was lost in time, but the minute I saw that cover, I'm like, oh, that if she wasn't interested before, that cover would have caught her attention.
Yeah, I was like, obviously, I'll spend the extra $4 and get it. Whatever. And I was not disappointed.
Not only is it Dick, in the past, in the circus, but also it's written by your buddy, Mr. Diggity Dank himself, Mr. Mark Waid.
That's right. This issue was totally Diggity Dank. Diggity Dank.
So, yeah, so what did you think of this? And again, it's like, I knew Dick would be smart enough. He's in the past, so if he knows where to leave a message for them, he can leave a message for them in the future.
Right. I would say my only complaint is I really like the cover.
Yeah.
I like the way that Dick's drawn on the cover, and then I don't like the way he's drawn as much inside the comic.
Who did the cover? Because just looking at it, I think it might be like a different. It might have been someone. Oh, Travis Moore did the inside art. Do they have a cover? Because I'm thinking it looks like it's someone different did the cover.
Yeah, someone did. It's his face.
Oh yeah. Dan Mora did the cover. I think he's the guy who did like the first 5 issues. Because I'm trying to remember, when we talked to Mark, didn't he say something like, eventually they were going to switch, even if artists, at least for an issue or two. So I'm thinking, that Travis Moore might have been filling in this time. But Dan Moore, who did the cover, did the first 5 issues. So,
which is fine. I mean, it's not like it's bad. I don't know. His just face looks too. I don't know. It's almost like it looks too real, or it doesn't look comic booky enough. I don't know. It just is not my jam.
I mean, it almost looks. Doesn't it look like? Almost like, I'm not saying he copied it, but doesn't it look like he was trying to get very similar to how Dick looks in the Nightwing book right now, face wise?
Yeah, it does a little.
Try to give him the hair and stuff too. It looks like I think.
I don't know. It's almost like his face is too soft or something.
Again, I think it's just the art style, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a silly thing, but whenever I saw his face, I was like,
But no, it was like a fun issue. I mean, it's funny that, you know, he's in the circus in 1892. I was like, oh man, they should have paid homage and you know, had him be like, oh yeah, he was back in 1940 in the circus.
I guess they wanted it to be longer ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
But yeah, Clark and Bruce come after him.
Yeah. So I liked. I thought it was a good choice. At first, I wasn't sure. I was kind of like, how did this happen? But I like that they didn't really belabor how it happened. They just were like, yeah, they made it back. Like, we didn't have to go through. And then I'm glad that the episode focused on what Dick was doing at the circus, and it wasn't like, how are we going to get back into the past? Like, let's do comic book science and stuff like that.
Well, again, I know Mark doesn't like this, but yeah, I mean, it's more like the Silver Age stuff where, you know, it's like, because that's how Supergirl and Dick were traveling through time. Like, those Kryptonians can, like, travel through time under their own power. So I'm sure Clark just grabbed Bruce and he flew them back through time, so.
That's cool. I'm saying I like it because I don't care about the comic book science.
I know. I was going to say it focused on Dick. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were still like 2 murders to solve. There was a murder mystery too.
Exactly.
But yeah, I like it. You know, Dick's like, he's like, yeah, you know, it was kind of weird coming back in time, but he's like, I miss this, you know, the circus and like the animals and stuff. And then Bruce doing the trapeze act with Dick.
Yeah, that was cool. Although my only concern is I feel like you should not wear gloves when you do the trapeze. Don't you want to grip it?
I guess. I'm not sure.
Wooden gloves, I mean, it's like whatever, but I was like, surely they should be not doing that.
Yes, but I'm sure those are state-of-the-art bat gloves, though, too.
Oh, probably.
Oh, I wonder if there's time travel protocol. Don't want to be leaving no fingerprints, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but it feels like, I don't know, shouldn't you more leave fingerprints in a period where they're just nascent technology than die?
I don't know. Well, they didn't die, so.
Or is it, nothing is more important than the mission?
I know.
But, yeah, that was awesome when, I'm guessing, so my only confusion was, is this like a Bruce coming back from time? Like, did he just wham appear? Or did they already set, like, he bopped in from time and boom, here I am on the
yeah.
The trapeze, or was it like Dick knew he was there?
I don't think Dick knew maybe he was there, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how long Clark and Bruce showed up beforehand, but I think that's the first time Dick saw him is on the trapeze, maybe. Because I love at the end when they're sitting on the bar there, he's like, Dick goes, "How was your flight?" And Bruce almost missed it.
Yeah, that page is awesome.
But yeah, so I guess they showed, like, in the beginning, what did Dick use? What is that, like fruits or something? He like wrote on the bottom of that rock, "Hey guys, come find me, Robin."
Yeah, I think he was chiseling that in there. He took the fruit when he was walking.
But I love how, like, last issue, and they're like, "Oh, how will we find him? He could be anywhere." But meanwhile, they're just like, "Oh yeah, you know." Clark's vision could just see, like, the tachyon, you know, he could just follow the trail through time. It's like, okay.
Right, yeah. It's just like, how do you know which circus?
But yeah, that's Bruce is telling him, he's like, yeah, I know. They used their X-ray eyes to follow it back through time. Once we found you, we didn't want to draw undue attention.
Right, yeah.
As Superman's lifting all that stuff and Later's flying, yeah.
Superman, oh my gosh, and that lady.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. Usually you get this with people on Dick or with Bruce, so it's funny to get it with Clark. Because it feels like his books are, like, too pure.
Well, he's the one who would blush more than any of them. Like, oh my. You mean cook pot Hetty?
Yes, but, I mean, when he takes the top off, he really does. I mean, that is like the perfect circus strongman outfit that Superman has going on.
Oh, yeah.
Although I'm cracking up. They go into Dick's trailer and they're sitting there chatting and Superman still has his shirt off.
Maybe it's hot.
Maybe.
The man who could fly to the sun. But yeah, maybe he's hot.
Yes, maybe.
But yeah, Clark's talking about when the circus came to Smallville when he was a kid, and it's like the aerialists hypnotized me. The way they soared effortlessly through the air still astounds me. And Dick's like, you can fly, and he's like, it's easy for me.
Yeah.
And he's like, it takes courage to know that to defy gravity, knowing that at any second you could fall to your death. How could that not impress someone?
True. Then Ilo says to Bruce, I wouldn't trade being your partner for anything, but to be around circus animals, to look after them, to love them and be loved, that I miss. Aww, that's cute.
That's like, I don't know if this book is in canon or not, but I want it to be. This story, I want it to be in canon.
Well, let's just say it is.
I know, but I'm just waiting for like a
Canon is whatever you make it.
I know, but I just want to, like Dick to throw out a comment either in his book or in a Bat book to Bruce, just be like, remember when we were in 1892?
Yeah. I feel like because they publish so much, I mean, anything that's published by DC is like technically canon, but they've got so much contradictory stuff that I feel like it is our duty, it is our joy as readers to check out what we don't like and remember what we do like.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're trying to make more and more. They're trying to make everything canon these days, so hopefully. But yeah, we got the murder mystery here of
They could kick out Dick cheating on Starfire. That would be great if that would stop being canon.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe have him not get raped so many times. That would be great too.
I was gonna say that was all pre-New 52, so maybe I don't know. You know what? That's weird too, because yeah, if we throw out, we might have to throw out that tarantula one at least, because it's like because Blockbuster just found out Dick's identity, but remember back then he found out Dick's identity and then got killed, but now he's bad. So that's what I'm thinking. I was like, some of that you might have to throw out because Blockbuster had already found out his identity and gotten killed. So,
well, and it seems like Dick and Barbara haven't really dated in this continuity. So,
until
now,
not as seriously as they did. Yeah,
and we haven't really seen much with the Corey relationship. Plus, that was just in a stupid annual that anyone could have easily overlooked. So it's dead to me.
Yeah. But no, I love the end of this issue. Yeah, where he solves the mystery. It kind of reminds me of Lonely Place of Dying when he meets Tim the first time. Remember when he was at the Haley Circus?
Yep.
But yeah, these two guys joined the circus. There, what were they, like bank robbers or something? But the guy in charge of the animals had them killed. The line just went nuts, and you're the only one with the key to the cage.
I wonder if that's true. A lion's bite is not much stronger than that of most dogs.
Maybe, I don't know.
Even a lion knows to respect Batman.
Well, I wonder too if I know there's some animals like if you jam your arm and back enough into their mouth, they can't fully close it. So
yeah, he's pretty far back.
Yeah,
and he's got I don't know, the gauntlet's probably Kevlar or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that suit's probably. I love when the killer tries to run and just like Bruce in the doorway. Don't even try.
Yep.
I mean, how scary would that be to someone from 1892? It's like, don't even try.
Saw them murder their other guy. You wanted to take all the money.
Yep.
You had the only key.
But yeah, at the end, they show the circus pack up and get on the train, and Dick's like, it's kind of hard not being able to tell them where I'm going, but he's like, at least I'm going back where I belong. But yeah, really good issue. Good issues this week.
Yep. And he's like, I have to bid my farewell to my friends. All I know to tell them is that I'm going where I belong. Oh, that's beautiful too. Oh. Everyone's smiling, even Batman. Man, world's finest indeed.
Exactly.
So beautiful. Loved it.
All right, so.
And to be honest, that one was almost. I really love the Nightwing one, but that one, that World's Finest, was satisfying in a different way because honestly, it was kind of a standalone.
Yeah, it wrapped it up.
That was nice because it was like you read the whole thing and it was beginning to end tied up, and so that you get that extra satisfaction.
Oh, yeah.
And that was nice because they don't do enough one-shots anymore.
Definitely.
And that's very sad.
But yeah, let's get to our classic stuff.
Heck yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what set off an alert here. Okay, remember me telling you, what is that? Is it September? Batman and Robin #1 comes out by Mark Waid.
Wait, what?
Or
I thought it was Batman versus Rob.
Oh, Batman vs. Robin #1.
Yeah, okay, the Damian one.
Yeah. I guess they must have posted an article. I'm assuming this is confirmed, but breaking news, kids. I guess they're saying we're going to see a return of a certain someone in Batman vs. Robin #1. Someone who's been dead for a while.
Oh, Alfred!
Looks like it, yeah.
Oh, snap.
So within the next month or so, yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting Alfred back.
You don't want his money back from Dick?
No, I think he's going to be proud of what Dick did with that money.
Probably true. I know. I hope that the Haven's not totally destroyed, or I guess he can get it built back up.
It looked like that statue.
It sucks. I
Looks
don't
like-
want him to win.
Looks like that statue is still standing.
That's good, but
Yeah.
the statue's not the most important part.
I know. But I'm just saying, it's not completely, the place isn't completely trashed. Alright, so tonight for more multimedia, doing Batman 121 and the two Batman 66 episodes, Instant Freeze and Rats Like Cheese.
Got the ice crimes of Mr. Zero.
That's right, kids. In his first appearance, he was not Mr. Freeze.
I took film.
Whoa. He's Mr. Zero. Alright.
Mostly it's pointing out stuff with similarities and whatnot.
Yeah, but Batman 121 was from February 1959, so.
Yeah, so that means, Mr. Freeze, he did not go by Mr. Zero very long, clearly.
Yeah, no, I think it was only his first appearance or first couple, yeah.
That's weak.
Yeah, and he wasn't even the only story in that issue. Yeah, again, it's one of those ones where you get
I know, that was actually, I was sort of watching the episode and kind of reading this at the same time, and this one's really short. And I was like, what? That's it?
Well, yeah, because there's multiple stories. He was like, one of the last ones out of 4 stories or something?
Right, yeah. So, but I thought it was pretty good that in both episodes, I thought it was, considering how short that was, it was pretty faithful. I mean, in the sense that they got in pretty much everything that was in the comic, because they had him use, because this is something that they haven't done as much, I don't think, is he was using heat and then cold, and a lot of times anymore they just have Freeze use the
Yeah, no, now he just uses the freeze gun. Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's very smart. That's physics.
Yeah. But again, it's like in this origin in the Batman 66, he was just like a criminal who basically, depends what the story is, either, in a fight with Batman or just an accident. He drops chemicals on himself and then he has to stay in a refrigerated environment to stay alive and stuff. But, I don't think,
Right.
I don't think
But
they,
that being
I don't think they did the origin with with his wife and stuff until Batman the Animated Series.
No, I don't think so. But that being said, I know that Batman the Animated Series gets credit for making Mr. Freeze better.
Okay.
And I think that's true, but I think they started it in Batman 66. He's still a little bit, they make him really sympathetic for a villain in the task. But they started it here in 66. He's kind of, it's sad, and he's like, oh, the warmth of the summer day, and he has his. I thought that was very good considering.
Yeah.
It's not animated, and they don't have fancy CGI in 66. How they did the lighting to show, oh yeah, it's hot when it's red, it's cold when it's blue.
Yeah, I remember now when I saw watched this as a kid in reruns. Yeah, they had the little box where you had to hit the buttons to either turn on the hot or cold in each section of the room and stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
How many times were they just he's like, come in, and one of his cronies were like, I can't. Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
Nice warm 76 degrees. So yeah, and that quote, he says something about, never to feel the warmth of a summer's day on your skin. I think they picked that up and used that later.
Yeah, in the animated series, I think in that first episode, it might be,
Like Heart of Ice or something?
Yeah. I forget if it's at the end when he's already locked up. But at some point in that first episode he's in, I think they do pull some of that. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it's like, I think, yeah, like I mentioned it before, but I think like, I don't know if he was that popular of a villain. I mean, on Batman 66 he might have been, but after that, I don't think he was that popular of a villain. Like, again, like early 90s, like 90, 91, I think Denny was like telling them like kill him off in the comics and stuff. But then once the first animated series episode hit, his popularity shot back up.
I don't understand why you would, I mean, I guess because we're so violent and jerk faces, but why would you kill a villain off? I mean, all you have to do is just not write stories about them.
Yeah.
Like the Riddler got a couple stories, and then legit he was in jail for 20 years, and they didn't write any more stories about him. Like, he didn't die.
Yeah, I don't know, unless they were thinking of killing him off and maybe reinventing the character as someone else. I don't know. Again, you never know, but
it's kind of like with heroes. You don't need to. I mean, unless we have to have some big emotional thing.
Yeah.
But like, you didn't need to kill Nightwing off the title.
Yeah.
You could just. I mean, obviously you're wrong about all those things, but you could just not write stories about someone. Although that sucks.
Yeah. But again, I mean, it worked out because, thanks to the animated series, they added that origin to his, with his wife and everything. I think they showed it's like, oh no, he's just not a straight up villain. He was like a loving husband. And then, in the animated series episode that, was that Phil, the guy who screwed him over was Ferris Boyle.
Right, yeah.
Freezing Boyle. God. Also voiced by Mark Hamill.
Nice.
But so these episodes, they threw out that line. What was it that he became Mr. Freeze? He was in a fight with He was already a crook. He was in a fight with Batman and accidentally got the chemicals.
Yeah, and that's different from in the comic. It's just like,
oh, oops, I dropped.
Something bad happened in the lab. Yeah. You know how it is.
I was like, man, that's kind of. I'm surprised. I didn't remember they. I don't want to say gritty, but I didn't think they would go that far in the 60s.
Yeah, I am actually kind of surprised that they did that. I would have been less surprised if in the comic book they were like, oh yeah, he did it. It happened in a fight with Batman. And in the 66 series, they were like, oh, what just happened?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they ever like did a bunch of like callbacks or anything, but it's like, oh yeah, hey, in some previous battle you didn't see. Yeah,
Yeah, so that was funny.
I mean, you could tell Bruce was invested because I swear he was almost halfway down that bat pole before Dick could even jump on the pole. It's Mr. Freeze, let's go.
But yes, mostly I like it because, again, of course, so much hilarity, most of it unintentional. Like Bruce needs to get those ball players out of his house. He's like, oh, I gotta go on a date. Can't keep her waiting, or her younger sister. Like, okay.
That's right. That's right, friends. I'm getting laid. I'm getting my young ward laid too.
Of course, he's not.
I know.
But also, when they're having the fight with all the fake Batmans, and he's like, "It's the real me, chum."
I know it's me, chum. They needed a code word, so if he swung at him, it's like, "No, it's me."
Right. And when he says that, and just is like, somebody says something, and Robin's like, "Oh, that means blah 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 in Italian," and Batman's like, I'm studying Italian. That was so funny. Because they're always, if we watch more episodes, there's one episode where Dick is like practicing his bird call. And then they get stuck in a hot air balloon. And Bruce is like, oh, hey, you have these bird calls. Use one and maybe we can get a bird to puncture our balloon.
And it served like no reason in the story except just Mr. Freeze twisting a knife with the skywriting.
Yeah, I don't know how he got that.
Like baseball pun. Strike one.
Yeah. But also it was so cheesy, but I loved it when he delivers the meat to the princess and she's like, oh, what kind of meat is it? And he busts out his cold cuts.
Oh, yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger should have used that one.
Surprised he didn't.
That's amazing. But then I was also cracking up because when Strike 3 appears, and they know, Paul Diamante, something bad has happened. And Bruce is like, oh, I just remembered I have a Wayne Foundation board meeting. Are you for real? That is the most terrible lie. Come on, dude. It's like you're just asking someone to figure out your secret identity with a lie like that.
I know, but then he like Batman offers to take the place of the hostage. He's like, I'm going alone, Robin. I gave my word. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That
was fun. And then, you get to see how inventive Robin is. He puts a tracking device on Batman.
That's right.
Also, that sundae that Alfred offered him looked really good, but also really fake. It was so obvious that was not made of food. It looked so good.
Well, yeah, it's like in commercials when you see commercials for restaurants and stuff. Yeah, the food's either not real or like they spend hours making that look just right.
Right. But I think you will not be surprised when I say I very much remember these episodes, and definitely 100% one of the main reasons, well, it was in this book, so it was like, yeah, we can do multimedia, but I love it because Batman is such a dad when Robin shows up at Mr. Freeze's lair, where he's like, don't hurt Robin, the only thing the boy did wrong was disobeying my orders. And then when Robin tries to fight Mr. Freeze, and of course Robin is like practically naked, but because he has short sleeves and short pants, and then Batman's like, it's okay, you tried. That's the true measure of a man. I was like, mwah, yes.
And Batman has to fake almost freezing to death for how long, but then he finally punches out Freeze. Just like, I'm wearing my Bat thermal underwear or whatever it is.
It's super thermal long underwear.
Yes!
Bat thermal long underwear, yeah.
Still looks like the same skin tight costume to me, but...
Well, that's why it's special Bat super thermal.
I'm surprised they went that route, and it's like, because like there was, it was in the original Azrael miniseries where it's like him and Alfred were like, what was it? Was it the Alps or some snowy terrain, and it's like he basically had like the suit was heated, it was like an electric blanket, but the suit, it was the suit, his bat suit. I'm surprised they didn't do something like that.
I'd say that's too intense for the 60s, but there's that episode in the 40s where Batman and Robin have like white snowsuits and it has some kind of...
I'm surprised, or even just a heater in that utility belt, something.
Whatever. They didn't have the budget for it.
Yeah, but that's the thing I remember as a kid, watching these is just, the light, the different lights and stuff. Just
yeah, it was awesome.
Sits them down for dinner.
Yeah, and then at the end when they're fighting, and he's like, "This is fun." I'm like, you're right, it is. And also, that was super random when the cops show up, and Robin's like, "I called you an hour ago. Where have you been?"
We made a wrong turn.
I know.
When I forget, well, do you have it written down what Mr. Freeze's real name is? Because it's not Victor Freeze in these.
It was Dr. Schimmel.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why, because of course the thing is there are 3 Mr. Freeze episodes and it's a different person every time.
Yes.
And one of them is German. So I was like, oh, is that why he's kind of being German? But no, I looked it up and George Sanders, who plays in this episode, is British. Yeah, it's because...
It's probably Otto... bless you. It's probably Otto Preminger.
Yeah.
Yeah, George
And
Sanders.
one of them, it says it's one of the, and it's not George, it's one of the other Mr. Freezes, was like apparently really difficult to work with.
Yeah, it's George Sanders, Otto Preminger, and Eli Wallach.
Yeah, it was definitely Otto that was kind of a pain.
Oh, Alfred Molina plays Mr. Freeze and Harley Quinn.
Has he popped up yet this season?
What? He might have, but I don't know if he had any lines of dialogue.
Maybe he was at that.
It might have been a previous. Yeah, it might be
at the Villies.
Yeah, might be a previous season.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, he's played Dr. Octopus in live action, and he's.
All right. Well, you know what else? He was on Law and Order L.A.
Yes, that whole one season. Yes. I can't believe they canceled that. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, there's a big list of Mr. Freeze actors because, between live action and animation, there's been like we said, Batman 66, there was like 3 different guys who played him.
Yeah, a different person every time.
And of course,
that's the other thing that cracked, like other shows do not do that, but I love that because it's so ridiculous about Batman 66 that sometimes they would change the villain. Like that Puzzler episode was supposed to be the Riddler, but then Frank Gorshin wasn't available, so they're like, okay, we'll just change it into the Puzzler. But then the next time that Frank wasn't available, they were just like, F it, we'll just get somebody else. And they just got somebody. Like, I love how if there was a villain they really wanted to use and the person wasn't available, they were like, screw it, let's just grab
I mean, the most blatant example of that, I mean, I have no problem. She's awesome. But it's like when they had Eartha Kitt as Catwoman and they didn't, it's just like, okay.
Well, yeah, and then in the movie, it was a different Catwoman also.
Yeah, but at least, I mean, physically they were, both white, kind of like same height. Yeah, but it's like Eartha Kitt. Yeah, just go with it. Okay.
Right.
She's awesome. Why not?
Yeah,
But yeah, again, it's 66. I think they were just like, yeah, just throw anyone in there. Of course, on the list of Mr. Freezes, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger's at the top.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, yeah, I'm just on Google and it just whenever you Google search something and you see like, people also asked and it's just like, is Mr. Freeze truly evil?
It's random, very specific as well.
I mean, I guess just the, the modern stuff, with the wife and everything. Because I was going to say in 66, oh yeah, he was evil.
Right, yeah.
Oh my god, and did you watch Batman Beyond?
No.
Oh, they did a thing with Mr. Freeze there where it's like he survived, but it's like the condition that froze him was like degenerating his body, and then by the time they were able to fix it, all that was left was his head.
I have seen some of that.
Yeah.
I've seen a few Batman Beyond things, yeah.
So in Batman Beyond, like
I wasn't so much watching cartoons when Batman Beyond came on, and then none of the cartoons have, I mean, it's like I know that, but they don't really have Tim in them either, do they? He's just in the Return of the Joker movie.
Yeah, just in the movie, yeah.
I know they don't have Dick in it.
They don't have Dick, yeah.
I was like, psh.
Yeah, it's basically just Bruce and Barbara, yeah.
Yeah, and Terry.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, I mean, I know it's a good show, but I'm like, whatever. There's so many other shows I'd rather watch. Sorry, Boy Meets World's brother.
But yeah, no, fun episode. I like the gimmick with the room and stuff, and our theme this week was baseball.
Yeah, I guess it kind of was.
A lot of baseball,
Phil is very in keeping with World's Finest.
Oh my god! But when they're at the baseball game, the princess is like, "Oh, I would love to meet Batman." I just love to meet Batman.
Yep.
When there's not a robbery.
Yeah.
But then she ends up with the baseball player at the end.
Yeah, well, except she's married, right?
I don't know. Is she? We never see a husband.
Well, I thought she was because they're like Princess whatever, formerly Miss Sandra whatever of Brooklyn. Right. So I'm like,
or did she change her name?
I don't know. I mean,
but
I was thinking, is it supposed to be a Grace Kelly kind of thing?
I don't know, unless she did marry and he died or something. Was she a widow?
Maybe they have an open marriage.
Oh.
It was the 60s.
Yeah, it's a different country, yeah.
Or maybe she's just really flirty, and that was that.
Or, like I said, maybe she's a widow.
Yeah.
And then the ending, we talked about it offline, but that baked Alaska. And if you look after, like, they're like, oh, baked Alaska, it's like, if you look at Anne Harriet, she's just like back there, like shaking her head, like, what's wrong with those boys?
I know. Well, I mean, it makes sense. She has no idea.
Oh yeah, it was just funny.
It's like, why are you dissing on my baked Alaska?
But I just, again, it's 66. I mean, reality's thrown out the window, but it's just like that. With all the Biff Bam Pow, there's never any bruises to explain or.
That's right. Never.
Is Bruce beating that boy on their camping trips? Fishing. Yeah, I swear.
When I reeled the fish and I accidentally slapped Dick with it.
What, with the pole or the fish? Either.
And then when we were filleting the fish, whoops, the knife slipped and we cut ourselves all up. What are you gonna do?
All right. So, any other thoughts on these?
No. Just that it's an amazing episode.
Oh, yeah. 2 episodes, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well,
was awesome.
He only wears like that free suit in like the beginning. I mean, it looks like a space suit or something, or a radiation suit, something, Yeah.
Oh, although I was cracking up how at the end of the comic book, he like is cured. Imagine, because like Batman let out the steam, and he's like, "Oh my god, that steam cured me." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, dude." That cracked me up.
I know. I'm like, not for long. All right. So, should we tell everyone what's next week is?
Yeah, what's happening next week, Phil?
Well, next week is our final week of multimedia. We will cover Batman 53 and the 66 episodes. The Joker trumps an ace and Batman sets the pace. So, Return of the Joker. Because after that, that'll start September, but then the rest of the month we'll get back into some of the Devin Grayson Nightwings from Batman, like 99 and 100. Yeah, and then, like, as you mentioned, some of that Renegade stuff, so.
Right. It's been a while. It's time to reevaluate.
Yep.
Now that I'm older and more jaded, maybe I can appreciate the repressed sadness more.
We finally got to bring Tarantula to justice. All right, so send your thoughts, kids, on the new comics, the stuff coming up, Batman 66. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter. Join the Nightwing Facebook fan group. Always looking for new members there. So, yes, find links for all the various social medias for all the Marvel and DC shows we do. Link to the YouTube channel. Again, everything we do, all our regular episodes, our specials. Remember, September is coming, kids. Lilith's on vacation for the whole month of September, so got a bunch of fill-in hosts on some of the shows, so it's so funny. Lilith's like, "Oh my god, it's going to be a complete sausage fest." I'm like, "Nuh-uh, Kristen's still doing Nightwing News." I'm like,
"That's right, I'm going to hold it down."
We're still gonna have one lady here for the month of September.
That's right.
It's not gonna be a complete man show. All right, so no. All right, so yes, kids. So yes, follow all the social media so you know who's on what show in September. All right, and so yes, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss anything we do.
Smash it.
And, of course, Patreon. Please, if you can, subscribe to the Patreon. Again, we don't have rich butlers leaving us money, so paying for that out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps, but $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And, of course, if that's not enough, and Lilith loves people's pain, the superhero movie brackets, we will find the worst superhero movie of all time. We're into the indies now. August episode will be League of Extraordinary Gentlemen vs. Sin City 2, A Dame to Kill For by Mr. Frank Miller. Yeah. All right, so get all that, or pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and And remember, do you want to help rebuild Haven? Well, go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. So yes, great book, all about Dick Grayson, put together by that genius over there. Everyone always asks me, how are you so successful, Phil? When I say, always surround yourself with people smarter than you, which is what I always do. Look at all the shows. I'm the dumbest person here. So, but yes, I have no problem with that. It just looks like I'm talented because I surround myself with smart people.
You're the one that does all the tech stuff for us. So
oh wow, I push buttons.
Well, I don't. So.
I know. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. Next week, last week of multimedia, with more Joker. Boy, the Joker's been our star for multimedia. This is like the third Joker week.
Well, I mean, they do throw him into practically everything.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, it was a nice mix. We got a Mr. Freeze this week. We had a Riddler week. And it's only 2 weeks of Joker on Batman 66. That first week was with the animated series. All right, kids, come back next week for the return of the Clown Prince of Crime. But until then, join us same wing time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing News. Get cold in here?
Hi, I'm Russell.
And I'm Justin.
And we're from the Tones.
Hold up. Listen up, you nerds. Tired of being a little goody two-shoes? Had enough of always talking about acts of courage and heroism? Well, you have come to the right place, I guess. Tomes of Evil is the comic book supervillain podcast, where every month we do a deep dive on a different comic book supervillain, as well as multiple sub-series on some of the most iconic foes of all time, including Darkseid, Doctor Doom, Scarecrow, and...
Name's Hobgoblin, and you're right on time for your funeral.
I better be getting paid for this. So what are you guys waiting for? Bring on the bad guys.
Tomes of Evil, a comic book villain podcast.